Oh, I see a guy. A guy with a diabetes mustache. Maybe that's my guy. So, Walrus Mustache guy was the guy I was looking for. He was super cool, and to stop touching the dresser because every time I do, it shakes the camera. Yeah, he was really cool, and his name is not actually Mustache Guy, it's Peter something. Yeah, I got to try all these really cool costumes and stuff, and it was great because it was all very loose and comfortable and flowy, and he'd like pick up some really ugly thing and some other really ugly thing, and then he'd be like, here, put these together, and I'd be like, oh, that's great, and it was great, and that's why some people are just much better at this than other people, because he just has this like natural eye for these things, and I was like, you know, I need my costume to come pre-packaged in like a bag for Halloween, you know, at the big pumpkin store by the fairgrounds. If you're not from Milwaukee, you don't get that. Sorry. Yeah, it was really cool. It was really fun. So the project that I had to go to Bucketworks for tonight is I'm going to talk about it, but I don't really know anything about it, so if it's really confusing to you, it is to me too. Hang on, I gotta go get something. It's like this. I got the job, but I hadn't actually had an interview. Knew that it was the kind of thing I'm generally interested in, and I'd spoken to, you know, the person who would be the equivalent of my boss, and seemed like a really nice guy, and I knew somebody else who I'd be, you know, working with, and he's cool. But then I got there for the first day of work, and it was like, ooh, I wish I had had the opportunity everybody else here had, and had the interview process, because you know, you do a certain thing long enough, and eventually you can tell right away if it's just not right for you, you know? And this short film thing just wasn't right for me, which is too bad, because the script was actually really funny, and the people who are involved are really nice, and one of them I'd actually worked with before a couple years ago, and it's really nice to see him, so hopefully that'll work again. Yeah, so it didn't work out, but that's okay, because, you know, when you do something that you're like, this is not right for me, it's just not like, and you can't put it into words, but it's just so intrinsically not you, and then you do it, and it's like, this isn't enjoyable. And if you're doing something that you pursue, not just as a hobby, but as an art and something you're passionate about, and you go, and it's like, I'm gonna do this, but it ain't right, that shows. And I don't know, if you know me personally, you know that I've got a lot of stuff going on right now, which I don't ever get into on YouTube, so out in YouTube land, this is all like a big mystery, but for anybody who knows me, you know, I've got quite a few things going on. You know, I had all my ducks in a row, and then suddenly it was duck hunting season, and they all just got knocked off, and it was terrible and very sad and bloody, because, you know, it's bloody ducks. So just not the time for doing something that makes me go, but perhaps in the future. They were good people. So now I have an audition coming up for a show. I think it's in September, maybe? Yeah, I think it's in September. You know, whatever. I just have to decide if I want to do it. Because the script for the play is not as enjoyable as the script for, or as the movie version. You know, which, if they're different, that's fine. I'm totally cool with that. But anyway, this one that I have coming up, this audition, it's made into a movie. Classic movie, with classic people in it. But the script of the play just, I find it to be genuinely less enjoyable than the movie story. And, you know, the fact that it's dated and gender roles, and I don't know. I have to decide. Help me decide. But you can't because I'm not telling you what it's called. Crap. But if I don't do it, I have nothing else to do. And therein lies my problem. If I don't do this thing, what am I doing? I'm doing nothing. I'm here making these with Alfred. It's a well-known show. The parts I'd be auditioning for are enjoyable parts, and the theater is very near me, so I wouldn't have to worry about spending a ton of money on gas or a lot of time on, traveling back and forth. And the people who generally work at this venue are all absolutely wonderful people, and they're a lot of fun to work with. Cons, I don't know who the director is. And the other con is the script. It's very dated. And in some ways, I don't care about that, if it's dated or whatever. But when it comes to being dated as far as, just how men and women talk to each other and what's expected of them and stuff, sometimes it's so dated that it's like you can't take the scene seriously. And if it's intended to be a serious moment, that really hurts it. And so I don't know how I feel about that. But, yeah. Should I do it? We have pros. We have cons. Pros, cons. Pros, cons. So, that's it.